A shooting at a local hospital overnight left one man in critical condition and 5 employees injured. News Channel 5's Kristen Volk joins us from Marymount Hospital in Garfield Heights. Kristen, here's the question. Did police fire that shot?
That's right, Frank. A Garfield Heights officer did fire that shot. He was working off duty here as security at Marymount Hospital last night. The victim was a patient of the hospital brought in by an ambulance and suspected of being high on the drug PCP.
This was a strong, wiry guy, and I guess basically just overpowered the officer.
A naked man, a Smith & Wesson gun, and a taser that looked like this. Police tell us that that was what was involved in a chaotic scene that unfolded here in an emergency room at Marymount Hospital. And it started when that naked man, the patient, came in close contact with an armed officer.
He tried to disarm him of his gun.
Police are not identifying that patient yet, but we're told he reached for that gun when the armed officer tried to get him to put his gown back on and stay in his room. Then the officer grabbed his taser.
He stepped back, pulled his taser out, fired his taser at him, and it had no effect on him.
A second shock on the patient did not have any effect either.
Typically, people succumb to a taser. It's extremely uncomfortable. It could be extremely painful, and it had no effect on this guy.
Instead, in a frightening moment, the man grabbed that taser and targeted the 3 officers and a nurse around him. He shoved another nurse into a wall. That's when the off-duty Garfield Heights officer pulled his Smith & Wesson out and fired a single shot to the patient's shoulder.
After he was shot, it took 3 officers to get one arm behind his back to get him handcuffed.
That patient is now being treated at Metro Health Medical Center. The officer who fired his gun is on paid administrative leave for 3 days while Garfield Heights police investigate the incident, and we're told that the victims here at Marymount are doing okay. Live in Garfield Heights, I'm Kristen Volk, News Channel 5.